attacks me on a regular basis. She says stupid shit on a regular basis. They just happen to coincide. But can I just say this?
Have platforms that have stuff on them that not everyone on that platform or who consumes stuff on that platform enjoys. And The View is a particularly weird place to do a cancellation.
It's called The View?
It's called The View. It's not called The Facts.
Yeah, but
It's
isn't it interesting that it's called, I mean, I don't think they meant this when Barbara Walters invented it a long time ago, but it's The View.
Well,
that's the problem in America.
But
there is one view,
right, and
one
that's clearly
true opinion, and everybody else can go sit in the corner.
Bill Maher is coming for Whoopi Goldberg again, and this time it's explosive. Whoopi is known for what many critics call out-of-touch takes and off-color comments. But who's better suited to challenge her than Bill Maher? His takedown was sharp, ruthless, and brutally direct. So, hit that subscribe button and let's dive right into it. Now.
Hey, what'd you think of Whoopi Goldberg saying it's worse to be a black person in America today than a woman in Iran? I see we were talking about the trans issue before, and the New York Times really has come over on that to the sort of the sensible, liberal, not crazy woke position. I think this is great first step toward getting the Democrats back to sanity, and a second good step would be we got to do something about The View. I really believe that. I mean, could you just
it's huge in Iran, though.
Bill Maher takes aim at Whoopi Goldberg for making a claim that simply doesn't hold up under scrutiny. Emma argues that the comparison between black Americans and women in Iran overlooks major differences in their situations. In Iran, women face systemic legal and social restrictions, ranging from enforced dress codes and surveillance to unequal rights in marriage, travel, and the justice system. Many have even faced arrest, fines, or imprisonment for defying compulsory hijab laws. Meanwhile, black Americans, despite undeniable challenges, participate fully in civic life, voting, owning businesses, holding public office, and influencing national policy. The contrast is stark. Maher's critique cuts through the noise, calling out what he sees as a deeply flawed comparison, one that overlooks the severe state-enforced limitations placed on women in Iran, while downplaying the freedoms that exist in the United States.
Watching The View in Iran, all with the same head cover. You can't even tell which one is which.
My district in the great state of Texas is actually a white majority district that President Trump would have won by 25 points. As I said, I'm a direct descendant of a slave. My great-great-grandfather was born on a Rosedown plantation. I am literally being judged not by the color of my skin, but by the content of my character. That's the progress, because, like, a lot of white people had to vote for me. A lot.
So
I don't even ever want to hear Whoopi Goldberg's conversation about how it's worse to be black in America right now. That's a bit far. And my father, who's 75 years old, he was a man that was in the French quarters that had to go get a sandwich to the back door of the building. And his son is now a United States congressman in a white majority district in Texas as a Republican. That is America. That's America.
Wesley Hunt couldn't have picked a more powerful example than the story of his great-grandfather, someone who lived through an era of real, undeniable oppression over a century ago. That comparison alone highlights just how far the black community has come since those dark chapters of American history. From legalized segregation and systemic exclusion to now having representation at the highest levels of government, business, and culture, the progress is not just visible, it's historic. That's why critics say Whoopi Goldberg's statement feels out of touch, arguing it overlooks that progress and presents a more one-sided narrative. Criticism is fair and challenges still exist, but exaggerating them to the point of distortion helps no one. To critics like Hunt, this isn't just a bad take. It's part of a broader trend where complex social realities are reduced into dramatic sound bites designed more for reaction than for truth.
Juneteenth, that's a Texas holiday. It began in Texas in Galveston. General Granger came and read the Order Number 3 that finally abolished slavery months after the war, because the war took a time to get to Galveston. We celebrated that when I was a kid in Texas, but it becomes national a year or two ago, and Donald Trump doesn't want to celebrate that. To me, it's exactly what you're talking about. So, 600,000 people died so that we wouldn't enslave people anymore, and the fact that freedom won is a good thing, and we should honor that. That's what Juneteenth's about. And I don't know why President Trump doesn't want to honor that.
So I don't want it. I don't want Black History Month. I don't want all these days for it to make everybody feel special. I'm an 80s baby. Everybody's too sensitive anyway. We're all Americans anyway. This holiday
That's what Morgan Freeman said.
Morgan Freeman, I can't agree more with him.
Yeah, he said that to Mike Wallace. He said, I'm an American. Do you want to be called a Jew American, Mike?
No.
Bill Maher finds himself aligning with Donald Trump on this issue. And honestly, it's not all that surprising. Maher has long criticized what he sees as excessive identity politics, and this is right in that lane. His argument is simple but provocative. Dedicating an entire month to a specific race such as Black History Month may have started with good intentions, but it risks reinforcing division rather than unity. From Maher's perspective, constantly emphasizing differences, whether racial, cultural, or political, can unintentionally deepen the very divide society claims it wants to heal. Instead of bringing people together under shared national identity, it may encourage people to see themselves primarily through the lens of race. Critics of this view argue that such observances are about recognition, not separation. But for Maher, the concern remains. Unity in his view shouldn't come with qualifiers. It should be universal, not segmented.
We'll celebrate Juneteenth, too. And non-Italians celebrate Columbus Day. And
I'm all for any holiday.
I'm half Irish. Do I get half the day off on St. Patrick's Day?
But a lot of
I get half drunk?
Everybody gets drunk on St. Patrick's Day. That's a good point.
Did you have a question for the congressman there?
No, are you telling me you're black?
Yes.
You don't see color, right?
We don't see color.